There's always so many stuff to do. You have to do as a caster.
Yeah, you need to do it beforehand, so it's like all professional and
Yeah,
slick.
yeah. Actually,
You know?
I always got the idea that if I talk about myself, especially when I'm casting alone, it's very hard when you cast alone because you don't have with anyone else to interact when there is boring stuff. And someone suggested to talk about something about your day or something. And I always, when I always did that, I always had the feeling that I'm unprofessional. It sucks. But then I watched some GSL lately, and I see that a lot of times Artosis and they sometimes just talk about random stuff, and then like, okay, three
it's
barracks go down, and then they talk about some other stuff. So I think it's not that bad. I just have that feeling, you know.
Yeah, it's fun though.
Oh, you have a dragon.
It's a lion actually. It's supposed to be a lion.
You know how it is. You can also open it like that, the other way, right?
I think this one is like glued together,
Oh,
so you can't.
but you know that stuff when you were little and you had like
Yeah, I know.
and like tell a number 1, 2, 3, huh? Okay, tell a color, and you're like, okay. It wasn't. I just watched it. It was a South Park an episode in South Park where they had that episode with something like that. So
Are we gonna start or what?
yeah. We will start in like 5 seconds. Are you ready? Are you
Uh,
loaded?
Huh?
Are you loaded?
Yeah, game on. 0 seconds.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, start. And I will probably have to add the StarCraft 2 to the. Oh no, it's there. I just have to add the. I actually have to move the damn. You know, the overlay, because right now it says Skype name. It's sometimes I think you need 3 monitors just to be safe.
Yeah.
Options, allow scoreboard to be moved, and I'm moving it right now to a new position where it should be better. Yes, it is better. So welcome guys to Group D Week 2. I'm Pat, and with me is Drool, of course.
What's up, yo?
And we are going to cast 4 games today. Hopefully one of them will be live. sc2ro versus now Grim. We just need to have Gross and Noob sc2ro online. Now I need to put the music that's more slower and, you know, like more ambiental. And
we are on dual side here, and we have Hasu on the right and Thebis or whatever on the left side. Both Protoss players, and yeah, interestingly enough, somehow Hasu managed to be a bit slow on his probes, so he's actually 1 supply behind, which is kind of weird. Maybe he had a little bit of lack of concentration and put his pylon too late or something, but he's a bit late on his probes. Thebis is 1 probe ahead. But yeah, actually it's kind of a big deal. Like, it can hurt for sure. I think both players are scouting, Thebis being a bit annoying, and both now getting their cyber core, so nothing too early coming from either of those.
only an early second pylon from the Beast, I think, because I saw it on the but besides that, it's pretty normal. Just something to add, this group actually has 4 Protoss player and only 1 Zerg. So whoever is the best on PvP will actually do maybe will have a better chance on qualifying. HasuObs already played the PvP versus Pomi on the first week, and he won with 2-1. But let's not forget that every win and every loss counts. So if you win by 2-0, you will have 2 points. If you win by 2-1, you will have 1 point. If you lose by 0-2, you will have minus 2 points. So it's actually, if you win 2-0 on the first week and you lose 0-2 on the second week, you will have 0 points.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually very interesting because everything matters, and in the end it always rises some very interesting matches, and always the favorite one will have no problems and will be on top, but it adds more excitement on the qualifier spots, you know. The players who will struggle maybe for the 5th place to play the playoffs. So we see the Beast adding a robotics facility. I've seen this before, but maybe you can tell us more because you play Protoss, right?
Yeah, and I'm even Master League
Oh.
now. It's kind of interesting. Usually you see a Stalker first when a player is going for a tech build, but he went Zealot Stalker and then Robo, and he is out on the map with his Zealot Stalker, so
Yeah, same
he
with
might want
Hasu
to
here.
fake a little bit of 4-gate, but Hasu has 2 Stalkers now, and those are obviously going to beat the Zealot Stalker here if Hasu is microing carefully.
seems
Now
that
Hasu was thrown off his game in the beginning. He missed the pylon, the second one, so hopefully, yeah, he has a 3 Stalker count out now, and he's going to be able to push that 1 Stalker back. Maybe he should even go a bit further. Yeah, I think he realizes he has a huge advantage unit-wise now at the moment. And there's no sentry out. He could actually go in here.
Yeah, no sentry, no immortal. So he is, we can say, in a lot of trouble. Well, maybe not that in a lot shitload of trouble, but it's surely going to cost him a lot. As you can see, he's pulling some probes, and HasuObs is targeting fire. I think he killed like 2 probes. We see that Hasu is ahead.
Micro by Hasu, is he going to lose the 1 Stalker that's so low in health? I think he can keep it.
Oh.
Wow, such good micro. And he loses.
Oh, he lost one.
1 Stalker. Wow.
And second
no,
one. Oh.
That was sad.
Yeah, interesting fight, and right now I have 14 frames. I just can't wait to install my new CPU and motherboard. Did I told you what I got?
Yeah. I've got 96 frames, so I'm good. I'm at 650 now. I hope we're good.
Yeah, but when you stream, it's actually eating a shitload of CPU.
Yeah,
so
true.
without streaming, I have like 60 frames, and it's no problem at all. But when you turn out on that X speed, and especially I stream right now in full HD, and it eats a load.
Very, very smart decision by HasuObs to expand here. It's like in PvP, PvP you always have to justify your expansion, and he did it with the first attack. Now he sees Thebis coming across the map with the
1 immortal
2
and
Stalkers and 1 immortal, 3 Stalkers now,
And one sentry, yeah.
in there too. But this is not enough to really put HasuObs in any danger. If he warps in 2 or 3 Zealots,
Yeah, he'll be
he's
okay.
gonna be completely fine.
Yeah, but what I like, I'm very curious how HasuObs will play this PvP, and I'm even more curious how the Beast will play, because since as I told you last week, we had Pommy versus HasuObs, and Pommy kind of did the same thing, the 1 base Colossus, and Hasu did everything else in each match, another tactic in each match, and on the last match he actually did the same thing like Pommy, and he won. So let's see who's going to be the player that goes for Colossus, but we have something interesting on the lower right corner. A War
Why
Priest.
is he doing that there? It's kind of weird.
Maybe he wants to
HasuObs,
load.
Little fight here. Lots of force fields going down. I think HasuObs should win this, although lots of units here for Thebis.
And that
the
immortal is
Immortals can help so much.
pretty awesome, and that's why HasuObs is not warping in anything in that War Priest, but he's still fighting with some probes. And let's see, yeah, he's still ahead with the probe gun. We see 30 probes for HasuObs and only 27 for the Beast. But let's
very,
see.
very good force field, trapping 1
Yeah.
Stalker here. That was really good. And now, yeah, he just has to pull back a little, but he's going to be able to keep his
Oh, he killed
Very
one of.
surprised if
Have
he
you seen the
couldn't keep
Beast killed one of his stalkers? I think with an immortal.
Really, his own one.
Yeah, I think it was his own one. And we see that HasuObs managed to survive. Let's see who lost more resources. We have 1 more force field, and yeah, the Beast lost more right now. It's still very close, like 500 minerals difference, but
Yeah, but overall, HasuObs is just so far ahead. He's mining
Yeah.
from 2 base now. This is technically an all-in by Thebis, and yeah, he's adding on 2 more gateways, so he knows he needs to all-in now or he's gonna lose the game.
and
But,
yeah, the War
after
Priest
all,
is
I
moving
mean-
again. That's going to be nice. It reminds me, I love players who play with War Prims, and they don't just go for the Colossus. Like Gruby, I've seen Gruby do that. I visited him last week, and or maybe it was this week, this Monday I think, and he always did something different. Like
I think so. I don't even know if Hasu needs the Warp Prism right now, because yeah, he's gonna be able to harass, but it's really important that he holds Thebis' army, and it's coming in again now. not that many units at the front here. Pretty good force fields for HasuObs, managing to trap a lot of Stalkers, and I think that Immortal is probably gonna die as well. Thebis didn't manage to get any more Immortals than that one out.
Oh, so many force fields, and finally the Immortal will go down. And I still have no idea who's winning, because one player is having the green color, one player is having the yellow color. It seems that the Beast won this one.
Pulling through. Wow, I didn't expect. Yeah, and that's because maybe if Hasu hadn't warped in,
he only warped in like 2 Zealots, yeah, but
he would have been a better
let's see how many he will be able to kill right now. He's warping in 4 more Zealots, and the Beast only warped in 1 Stalker, and the probes are fighting with the Zealots inside the base, and let's see how many probes did he lost. The Beast actually managed to kill 12, and the HasuObs only 6.
Yeah, Hasu is kind of in a weird position. He can still hold his own front. Thebis wasting a few force fields there, but he's reliant on
more Zealots actually.
Hasu forced to warp in sentries.
And
but
2
he
more
gains the upper hand in Thebis' base, so...
Yeah. And if we check the probe count, we see that the Beast is still ahead with 2 probes, so it's still somehow okay. It seems that the Beast is now ahead because of the 2 Nexuses that he has. So a very interesting first match. Of course, it's not over yet, but it was somehow like the Beast is HasuObs is ahead right now. The Beast is ahead, but we have 4 Zealots that are attacking HasuObs Nexus from the main base.
Yeah, but they didn't manage to kill the Nexus, and this kind of puts Hasu quite far behind. He's just now catching up on probes. I mean, he did mine from his expansion quite a bit, and that's good for him. He probably paid for his own Nexus, but it's time for him to put on counter pressure. But he can't really do it. He doesn't have a tech advantage. He's just now building Colossus Bay.
Yeah.
And Thebis has really good economy now. 2 bays, happily mining, enough army to defend for quite some time, and he's moving out again. And yeah, this Warp Prism is really what Hasu needs to use to come back into this game, and here it comes again.
And he can do it. It's something that will make you very stressed as a player, you know, knowing that there is a drop, there is something that can harass you while you are away, and this actually forces the Beast to keep some army in his base just to defend for that. As you can
look, even though he keeps army behind, Hasu has so few units.
He has a lot of Stalkers.
He even lost his Observer. He's just now
a lot of sentries,
boosting out his first Colossus. And he can hold this ramp, but an Observer is here, so Thebis will be able to harass the sentries that try to force field with the help of the Observer.
Yeah, and we have another warping probably at the natural for the Beast. We have drop with 3 Zealots. It is forced the Beast to warp in 2 more Zealots. And no, that was actually Hasu, and right now expansion from the Beast is under attack. And yeah, still interesting. Let's see if the Beast will go up to the ramp, or I don't think it will be a good idea to go up to the ramp yet.
Yeah, and he wastes force fields. Thebis
strange.
there, wasting 3. The first Colossus is now out. I hope I'm not too far ahead. I think I'm a bit ahead.
27 probes versus 27. I'm on 16, 15 right now.
Okay, I'll stop a bit. We should be even now.
Okay.
So the first Colossus out, Hasu finally getting his tech advantage out.
But
Thebis' tech is not looking too strong. Hasu again with Zealots in the base of Thebis, but they will get cleaned out. And yeah, with the Colossus now entering the field, I think Hasu can pull the match back into his favor. Because there is no kind of tech for Thebis. He
only the Immortal that can be useful if you have something like 5, maybe even that it's a high number because it's very expensive. And if you manage to focus fire, we saw that actually last week. HasuObs, that's how he did it. He added something like 7 gates and no Colossus, while Pomi went for Colossus immediately, and he managed to actually snipe. But it was much sooner than like right now, you know.
Yeah, and the tech that Thebis is adding on as Stargate, with a thought behind it to hard counter the Colossi. Maybe I think he should probably go for a Void Race. That's what I think. But it's probably going to be too late. I think HasuObs, if he warps in another round here, and he doesn't have pylons here, I think he can do a lot of damage.
He's not ahead.
Completely messed Thebis up here. He has nothing that can crush force fields. And there's a lot of sentry energy for Hasu, so I think Hasu should be able to win this engagement and maybe take the game right here. But he needs the numbers. Thebis has a lot of units.
More probes for the Beast, but let's see the fight actually with interesting force fields, but as you can see, most Hasu went ahead with so the two Colossus and destroyed two of the force fields.
Yeah, and with Hasu Zealots sniping the Nexus in the main, he's gonna be able to take out this army as well.
Yeah, they are still very close, but with the three Colossus, with the three Colossus, it's going to be very hard for the Beast. But let's see, he's also dropping in the main base. We totally missed that. The Nexus went down actually. And he's also attacking the cybernetics core right now.
Yeah, no more Stalkers from now on for Thebis, and Thebis forced to pull probes. Colossus counters up to 3. That one Phoenix that is out will go down right there. And Sentries coming out. I think it's so smart to warp in Sentries because force fields are so strong against the Immortal army.
Yeah.
You can't do anything against them, and only probes against Colossus.
Basically, you stop the main army, and only the Colossus will fire, and of course that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, and Hasu now destroyed the whole main of Thebis, and this is gonna be a GG in just a sec because there's nothing that Thebis can do. He had a really nice turnaround in the mid game, but in the end, Hasu managed to get that tech out much sooner, and he's gonna be able to close this down. GG.
Yeah, I still have a small delay. Yeah, there's a GG right me. It's because I'm having the frames problem.
Yeah, I'll try to stop like every few minutes.
Every 3 minutes or so, stop 1 second or something like that.
Yeah, or 5 or something. Yeah.
And interesting first game. You see that
really interesting. I really back and forth and stuff. Not really as expected, kind of. But yeah, smart play by Hasu.
Let me actually check where. I see that I was talking with now Grim, and the Saper is not here, so.
Okay, so second game in the best of 3 is gonna be on Shatter Temple. Same colors, and yeah, ready when you are, Pet. I'm good here.
Yeah, I just told now Grim to wait 15 more minutes. Normally when a player does not announce me ahead, normally now Grim will receive the free win, but I'm not sure if now Grim will wait, we will want a free win, not sure exactly. It's his choice anyway. So we will go into the second game on Shatter Temple. And yeah, same colors, that's something I like. I don't have to do too much work then. So are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
3, 2, 1, 0. Welcome guys to the second game between the Beast. Maybe I can do it with a voice. Between the Beast. Was it with a voice, because I can't hear myself?
No, it sounds stupid. But it's okay.
Maybe it's better like this?
No.
Okay. So we have the Beast spawning on the bottom and HasuObs on the top. And Shatter Temple classic map, but it should be like the same deal, nothing fancier. At least on these positions it doesn't ask for anything fancy. But maybe we'll still see a War Prince or something.
Yeah, Hasu is the guy who's like, you rarely ever see him go for a 4-gate, because in any matchup he kind of plays standard, but always has his own kind of quirks in his game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for maybe a Stargate opening, maybe some kind of early robo. Thebis did that in game 1, but really didn't have much direction with his build. That's something I wanted to say. Like, he did that kind of robo thing, but really through with it. He went very gateway heavy, and he kind of got caught up in his own build. So
I think he actually lost because of the Colossus. That was a pretty big important thing, but I also think he got a bit fucked up by the Warp Prism.
Yeah, without a doubt. But even before the Warp Prism, like, he didn't go for a dedicated robo. He kind of poked with the very low gateway and mortal count, and then he realized, okay, I'm getting kind of killed by 3 stalkers. Let's go all in with 5 gates, and then he did it, and then he expanded, and then he was kind of okay, but you could see the difference, like between Hasu, a world class player, and then Thebis, who's like just quote unquote a master player. So yeah, it's just the thing, like Hasu has more experience in everything.
Yeah.
But maybe Thebis, I mean, PvP is very volatile. He definitely has a shot at winning a game.
He played pretty awesomely with Naogrim, and Naogrim is also a very good player. And he almost beat it. It was like very so match, you know, like who's going to win right now? He's ahead now. Naogrim is ahead. You know, it was based trade scenario, very interesting. I actually placed the VOD on the main page. It was so awesome.
Second gas for Thebis, very fast. Hasu does not see it yet. He sees it right now.
Yeah.
And is he gonna take his own gas? Yeah, he is right now. And I think both actually went for a zealot. That's kind of interesting. Or yeah, both did get a zealot out. And so
how do you usually
from both.
How do you usually decide what do you want to get? 2 stalkers or 1 zealot, 1 stalker? What makes you decide?
Zealot, a zealot helps in a 4-gate scenario. Like if you go for a 4-gate, you want the zealot stalker because you want as many units as possible. But if you play a more passive style, then I think you usually want to skip the zealot, or at least, I mean, it's a preference thing. But I prefer to skip it because stalkers give you more versatility early on.
We have stalker fight in the middle. Who got the first shot? I think it was kind of at the same time, so if the stalker would have fighted, they would have died.
Yeah, both.
both. No, both.
Also going for a 3-gate pressure. That's really interesting. It's gonna be, he's gonna kind of feint a 4-gate, which is a very important tactic. Elfie, who just had pretty good success this weekend in the Aces tournament.
I haven't seen any match, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of his play is around feinting 4-gate pressure. See, Hasu looks like he's gonna be totally all in here, but he's actually not. He's only on 3 gates, so but he still can do some damage, and he gets a pylon into the base of Thebis, and still has 2 stalkers and a zealot there. I think Hasu might just win with this, if he gets a bit lucky.
3 gate, but I'm winning, you know. Let's see, the Immortal will be out in some seconds. But
too late, dude.
Yeah, but still not sure how much it will help him because he only has like 2 stalkers and Immortal with Zealot. Of course, the Immortal will still be awesome because he will do some damage. But look, HasuObs is picking out a pylon and it's not supply blocked yet. But
mistake by Hasu. He could have warped into the main, but he warped in outside. I think he forgets that there's a pylon in the base for him.
Sometimes
and that's kind of bad.
Yes, sometimes it matters, but.
Yeah, but it would have been much better.
We have a kiting with the Immortal, but the Immortal will go down.
Yeah, it gets zoned out very well by the Zealots, and that's actually game.
Yeah, 2 more warpins for the Beast, but still with the kiting of the 2 stalkers, 1 Zealot will be down. We have 2 more Zealots that are going directly into the mineral line, and we see the Beast that's forced to actually go to try to defend that mineral line.
Hasu kind of a slow approach here, going into the mineral line, shooting the robotics, not really going for the units, just to make sure he gets the best possible fight. And yeah, he actually
interesting
is getting a
force
really good
field
fight there.
But the force field kind of hurt the Zealot.
Yeah, but Hasu just looking so good. Good force fields there. Kind of smart just to kill a stalker. Probably worth it.
Yeah, 2 more warpins for the Beast. It is still looking very grim. He can't actually produce anything else, yeah.
Hasu's like banking money and still winning.
With that, if that pylon will go down, and as you can see, he's kiting, and yeah, that's a good game. The pylon would have been pretty huge, but anyway, he lost, so it was huge.
Yeah, GG. I mean, smart play by Hasu. This was not all in. he could have expanded off.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this.
He just got 3 gates and okay, I'm going to put pressure. I like when players play like that and they just don't play passively. Like okay, I'm going to first expand and then I'm going to wait some more. There are a lot of Protoss players that just play like that. They don't move forward unless they have at least 150 army, and that's usually by minute 20 something. And they just defend the third and they just go. I've seen a game today with a Protoss player. Not going to say who.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like
it's in this kind of feinting a 4-gate, like acting like you're really all in, is really good. It's quite smart, and it can work quite well if the opponent gets too